welcome everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and you are watching another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. This is your first week here. Every week I talk to a different business owner about what they do, how they got started, and I'm really excited to chat with Tyler from Mad Hare Barber. Tyler, thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me. It's just fun. It's fun to do this.
Yeah. So tell people just about how you got started with, hair cutting and what made you want to start your own business.
Okay. So what got me into barbering is I was actually going for a master's degree. A week before I started school, I just was like, this just does not feel right. And so I decided instead I'm going to go so I was going for my master's. And then probably about a week before, I just was like, this does not feel right. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I called the school or canceled it. I was like, I can't do this. It doesn't feel right. And then I was trying to figure out what to do. But previously, I've cut my own hair for about 10 to 12 years. And so I was like, well, maybe barbering might be kind of interesting since I already cut my own hair. And so I figured, hey, let's go talk to the school, see what happens. And right then and there, I got enrolled, signed up. And ever since starting barber school, I was like, someday I want to open up a barber shop. And so that's just kind of how it's evolved. And then we ended up moving down to St. George. And I work out of the gym next door. And then I also went to the chiropractor that's on the other side of the shop. And so the spot was open. I kept walking past it. And I was like, oh, I would love to have a barber shop there. And I kept talking about it. And my wife was like, well, then just go for it. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I called the people and yeah, so I don't know if you want.
No, that's perfect.
More
that's
details.
Awesome.
I've got a lot of details. So.
No, I like that story. And just for people's reference, where we're at, we're in St. George. We're on Bluff Street, right?
Yep, North Bluff Street.
And what's the exact address here?
So it's 1091 North Bluff Street, and it's unit 1504B. So we're actually there's the whole Sunset and Bluff corner. We're at the north end of that whole shopping complex.
Yeah, it's right by the interchange for Bluff, basically.
Yep, exactly.
So really, really nice part of town. I do like it. You got a cool clock tower you get to stare at all day.
Yep, clock tower, and there's the Utah Arts Academy, Elevation Fitness. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool businesses and views around here. So
yeah, something that I really like that you're talking about is something that just didn't feel right, right? So something that I think we as human beings were just born with this innate sense of our intuition, right?
Right.
And as business owners, we just have to follow that intuition. I'm listening to a podcast and it's Sean Nelson. He's the founder of Lovesac, and he's got this story this chapter in his book called Mind the Experts. And it's a double entendre where it's okay, you can listen to experts, you have to give them mind, but also mind them. They might get in your way. They might tell you something that, oh, you can't do this. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to believe them when it could just be holding you back, right?
Right.
We have to follow our intuition. So, maybe tell people a little bit about I'm sure it's scary to say, I'm not going to get my master's degree. I'm going to go cut people's hair instead. What does that take in that moment to follow your intuition? You're walking by this place, you're like, I'm going to put a deposit down, I'm going to build my own business. What does that take to follow that intuition?
Ooh.
I know this is deep, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It really takes a lot. I mean, when I opened up the barbershop, I had no idea what I was doing or how to run a barbershop. I didn't really know business at all, but it was weird. So I guess I'll back up to the master's degree, you brought up.
Yeah.
It was because I was already working, I had a steady job and they were going to pay for my school and things like that. And then I'd have to work there longer. And so just having that, it just doesn't feel right. And I've kind of always been a person that really, if I'm this does not feel right, I can't do it because it doesn't feel right. And so it was hard because not staying with that company, I had to quit that company because going to barber school, it took just too much time, too much brain power. So then that put another stress on my wife, having to kind of pick up the slack.
You're on single income.
Yeah.
While you're
going to school. And also after you graduate barbering, you have to find your own clientele. So there's like a lull there where you're trying to build clients and make money essentially. Um, yeah. And then fast forward to moving down here, and I was currently a stay-at-home dad because my wife was actually traveling as a travel nurse.
Okay.
And then, so she moved back, and it was kind of a hard time because we just bought a house, like, and then my wife finished travel nursing, so she got a pay cut going into working around here, and then so that was tough. But it was just, I think the biggest thing was once I signed that lease, and I honestly I felt sick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, oh, what did I do? And things like that. But one thing, I'll try not to get emotional on this. My mom, she passed away, but she was only 51 when she passed. And so it kind of really brought me to like life's so short that I don't want to pass things up. And it's like, stop living small, because I've lived small most of my life, because I had that like, oh, well, you got to stay small. Oh, you can't do that. Like, you've got to like fall in line, fall in the box, things like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't stay small anymore. I feel like it's the opportunity to grow, and I just felt so right about it. But I also felt so sick after I signed everything. Like, I know my ceiling very well, like all the details, because there's nights I just stayed awake staring at the ceiling. But it was always that driving force of like, why am I doing this? What's the reason behind it? And that's why I was able to keep going and growing and things like that. So it was a lot.
No, that's terrific. I think that, I mean, there's a lot of things that can go into that. I wish it was like Joe Rogan. We had 3 hours to just sit down and dive deep into that
on for a while. So,
but again, the key takeaway that I'm taking from what you're saying is like, life's really short, and you just don't know. I think we take for granted sometimes, like, what, our potential, right?
mm-hmm.
I think we let other people tell us what our potential is, and we just kind of accept it.
Yep.
And our intuition might be telling you, no, like, you don't need to work this job. You don't need a master's degree. You need to go cut hair. And you're like, that's not what I thought. Like, my degree's in criminal justice. Yeah. And here I am doing marketing, and it was the same kind of thing. I worked for the government for 5 years, didn't particularly love that, wasn't making very good money. It was just me while my wife was in school. So we were, single income as well. And that's how my marketing business was born. And if I hadn't followed my intuition, I'd still be working for the state. I'd still be pretty unhappy. And I think that when we're willing to follow those feelings that we get, when we're willing to like gut check ourselves, I mean, good things happen, but it comes from that adversity. Like you said, it sounds like a couple of years of, figuring things out, and stress on your wife, stress on your family, all those things.
Yeah, it's been a big stress, but it's cool now to fast forward 3 years to where, I mean, that stress is still there, and we're still constantly striving to grow and to get better, but I don't know, it's getting better.
Yeah.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It doesn't feel like I don't know everything. It's just, I don't know these things.
Yeah.
You at least know what you don't know.
Yeah. And I can look back and like, oh, like I've learned so much coming this way but now I'm like kind of starting to go into like uncharted territory, and like trying to constantly change and adjust, and what's next? What else don't I know, and things like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, and so talk to us about those things. Like, where do you see the future of Mad Hare going? Like, what are you guys working on? How are you growing? Next year, what are some of your big goals for your business?
Next year. So there's kind of a lot of them. So one of them is like, there's potential of another location. I'm actually partnering with a beard oil hair product company, and we want to take both of our companies, combine them, and make them bigger.
Oh, cool.
And so there's talk of another location.
Yeah.
Also a storefront for their business, their product, things like that. And then just really growing the shop here. We have 6 full-time barbers and then 1 part-time barber.
Okay.
And so we have things we're just adding, trying to better our services, constantly improve our barbers, and when we do open up more locations, that's when we actually we take barbers from inside the shop and know the vibe, the culture, and then put them in those other shops. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the main one that we're really focusing on. There's a couple other, like we're thinking about starting a men's group.
Okay.
Just kind of here at the barber shop, things like that.
Yeah.
My wife actually wants to start a women's group. So we're like, oh, we'll just kind of hit both sides. So those are kind of the little things that we're just not quite happening yet, but we're in the works. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have this vision for your company and you're trying to take it places. Obviously, one of the biggest things with growth is how do we market, right? I've got 6 full-time employees, 1 part-time employee, and plus myself. Like, how do you put yourself out there and keep yourself busy? How did you go from just you buying the shop and it's empty to, oh, I've got, clients coming in the door and enough to keep people busy? What does that look like for your business?
So at first it was tough because I was doing all the network or all the marketing myself.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I was trying to do everything myself, and then going from that to, okay, like how can I get it better? And then I connecting with people, and then starting to do like networking events that really helped bring more awareness about my business, things like that. I'm always repping a shirt wherever I go.
Yep.
Like that's helped.
It is a cool logo, I have to say. It's got a cool like vibe brand, and then you walk in, it's consistent with that same logo.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I don't know how much you want to hear about that, but it's cool how it came about too, is because like my sister actually drew the logo.
Okay.
My wife came up with the name of the shop. And so my wife helped me decorate it. So it all kind of fits that brand. But it was really tough to learn how to market. And then, I mean, recently we've really kind of tried to work on that social media side a little bit more.
Yeah.
Kind of making sure everything's on brand, and like 25% of our business is actually from social media itself.
Like specifically Instagram, probably?
Instagram, mostly, a little bit of Facebook as well. So those are the 2 main ones that we use.
Yeah.
And then also there's like, Google and all that stuff. Like we're just constantly trying to work and adjusting that. But it's been tough. Like sometimes we're like, go a little cheaper route, and then it kind of works.
Yep.
And then after a while, it's like, okay, this really isn't working. We need to take it up to the next level. Or, okay, what else we need? Spend a little bit more money here.
Yeah.
Spend a little bit more money there, trying to get it to work. And, we still have a lot of improvement we can do, but it's like making those steps and constantly working towards that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I think that, what you're saying is every small business's struggle with marketing, which is, if I had unlimited dollars to throw at this marketing machine, I'd love to, but I don't, right? Like it's not an unlimited resource. We have overhead, we have bills to cover, we have all these things.
Yeah.
But, when marketing's good, it works and it brings you business.
Yep.
And so what have you done to like learn what's working, what's not? How do you sort of measure that with your marketing stuff?
So I actually got lucky. My wife works with analytics a lot.
Okay.
And so with her full-time job.
Yeah.
And so now she's like, oh, I see the analytics, and like she can tell things that people post, like, okay, well, that didn't really do very well. And so she's able to adjust there and look at it. And for some reason, when I get on camera, people like it a little bit more. So she's like, hey, you need to get on camera again. I'm like, I don't really want to.
Yeah.
But it's like, and so like, it's cool because she can kind of see like how the trends go and starting to kind of learn it, but it's still a learning and developing process. And kind of like you said, it's hard when it's like, oh, like people want thousands of dollars for marketing. And I'm like, my haircuts are like $40 a piece.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to, with everything else. And so it's like, the main thing is just really, my wife's kind of taking that over. So people compliment me on it. I'm like, it's not me. It's really my wife is doing it all right now. So
yeah. Well, and I'm sure that's a big blessing. Some people, they look at marketing and they're like, I think it's working. I don't know. But it's nice to have a wife that sees these trends, sees the numbers, sees, hey, this does better when this happens, and can point you in the right direction that way.
Yep, for sure.
Well, the last question I like to ask Tyler, you've been in business for a while. You've been, I'm sure, doing development and maybe working with coaches or talking to other business owners. What's been the best piece of advice that kind of changed the way you see your business or the way that you work your business?
I think the biggest thing is it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, and people are going to fail and things aren't going to go right. And things just, no matter what you do, it's just, oh, this is not working.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being like, oh, I failed, I can't do this, I quit, whatever. It's okay, well, what can I learn from this? Using every opportunity that comes to you like that as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
And not getting down and be like, oh, well, this is just, it's failing. Even though it's like, yeah, right now it's not working, but what can I learn from this to make it better or to improve or to grow what I am doing or whatever I need to learn from it. So,
yeah, I mean, failing upwards is kind of the way I
Yep.
put it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I might suck right now, but the only way to get better is to learn from it.
Yeah.
So,
And people ask me like, oh, it's so hard. Like, oh, this must be hard. Like things aren't going right. I'm like, yeah, it might not be, but it's like, well, it's a learning opportunity. What can I learn from this to go up? Like,
yeah.
failing up. I like that. It's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, Tyler, this has been awesome. I really appreciate it. If people, I know that we talked off camera, you said that you guys offer a discount for, people in the community, specifically like first responders, right?
Yep. First responders, firefighters, police officers, like all those. We do offer $10 off. It's something that we just want to really give back. Feel like there's a lot they've been dealing with lately here in St. George, and so we just want to give back. So
I think that's awesome. And I mean, I love the involvement in the community. I think that plays a big part, obviously, in not only growth, but also just being a good person. So I want to, shout you guys out for your involvement in the community, the way that you guys do give back in that way and things like that. I think that's awesome.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So if people wanted to learn a little bit more, or if they want to book an appointment, you said Instagram's the best way to do that, right?
Yeah, they can go on Instagram. It's Mad Hare Barber is our Instagram handle.
And hair, Hare, right?
Yeah, hair like the rabbit hair.
Yeah.
Is what I tell people.
Yeah, so go follow them on social media, guys. If you need a haircut, come check them out. They, like you said, it is a cool vibe in here. You have like the old wood.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like kind of an old classic barber shop. So it's got a cool feeling to it. I really like the brand and what you guys have put together here.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. There's definitely a lot of thought that went into everything we've done. So,
well, it shows. So
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Come check him out. It's Mad Hare Barber on Instagram, and come into the shop, come get a haircut. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week, where we'll be here with another business owner.